There are some hidden magical abilities of the Winx girls that were later forgotten when considering what to include in future episodes of the series. However, the reboot could bring these important magical talents back into the spotlight. The first and most obvious forgotten power in the reboot is Stella's Scepter, known as the Ring of Salaria. The Ring of Salaria was once one of the most iconic magical items in the Winx Club universe, especially in its early seasons. Although it was passed down through the royal family of Salaria, and most of Stella's possessions reflected her diva persona, the ring wasn't just an accessory, it was a source of light, power, and protection. It had several different and extremely useful abilities that gave her a huge advantage against her enemies. In the early episodes of the first season, we saw it teleport the Winx girls out of dangerous situations. In the second season, it proved essential for illuminating ancient ruins. Lastly, it played a major role as a magical focus for combining spells. What made the ring even more interesting was how central it was to the plot in Season 1. The Tricks hunted it relentlessly, convinced it held the power of the Dragon Flame. In the 5th episode of the season, the Tricks tricked Stella and cornered her, hoping her friends would surrender the ring in exchange for her safety. Entire battles and hostage exchanges centered around the ring, and yet, it always returned to Stella, as if it recognized her worthiness.
All right, let's get moving. It's time to show our faces.
And then, the ring simply faded into the background. After Stella's Enchantix transformation, the ring's presence gradually diminished. It stopped being critical in battles, and by the later seasons, it wasn't mentioned at all. That's a real shame, because the ring was more than a magical tool. It represented Stella's development, her connection to Salaria, and her responsibilities as a princess. Retiring it without a proper narrative reason felt like removing a key part of what made her character distinct. It was a missed opportunity not to reintroduce or evolve the ring's purpose in the later seasons. Especially since Winx Club began focusing more on character backstories and personal growth, the Ring of Salaria could have served as the perfect symbol of Stella's evolution as both a fairy and a royal. Thankfully, Stella's Scepter is back in the reboot, paying homage to the original. Of course, it looks different from what we used to have, but it's still something, right? The new design of the scepter sparked controversy among fans. Many felt it resembled the Mythic's wands from later seasons. And to be honest, I see their point. In the reboot, I hope her scepter will regain the importance it once had during the first seasons of Winx Club. I'd love to see Stella using it to teleport the girls and cast major spells, just like before. 2. Bloom's mind power. Bloom's mind power, her ability to see people's auras and even glimpse their memories, is one of the most underrated and fascinating elements of Winx Club. It deserves far more recognition than it ever received. It's not just a side ability, it's a deeply emotional and symbolic power that connects directly to Bloom's identity. She has always been someone searching for truth, belonging, and deeper understanding since the very beginning of her journey in Magix. We first witnessed this power when Bloom returns to Gardenia, away from the magical chaos and back in her normal human world. Instead of being just a fairy with fire powers, she starts to sense emotional energy in the people around her, seeing through polite facades and uncovering hidden truths. Whether it's detecting Vanessa and Mike's unspoken feelings, exposing the dishonesty of businessmen targeting her mother, or feeling the regret of someone who hurt her, this power highlights Bloom's greatest strength, her empathy. What makes this mind power so meaningful is that it's tied more to her heart than her magic. While other fairies use elemental attacks or physical spells, Bloom's ability lets her perceive intentions and uncover truths. This ability also reflects her origins. She's not originally from the magic dimension. Raised on Earth by loving parents, her aura vision represents a bridge between the magical and the human worlds, a gift of emotional intelligence and spiritual insight. And yet, after Season 2, the series dropped this power without explanation. It's a real loss. The reboot could bring this power back to show how Bloom emotionally connects with others, especially in a world where she still knows so little and where secrets are everywhere. Given how themes like identity, betrayal, and family are central to her story, this power could be the perfect tool for exploring them in greater depth. 3. Musa's magic frequency power. Musa's signal powers are another underused but deeply impactful element in the Winx Club universe. It's a quiet but game-changing ability when used well. In Season 3, Episode 10, this power shines during one of Althea's most critical moments, proving how essential Musa is, not just as the fairy of music, but as a vital communication link in magical emergencies. As Walter and the Tricks launch a full-scale assault on Althea, chaos unfolds. The witches breach the barriers, and the students are left scrambling to defend the school. In the midst of this, Princess Galatea is captured and forced to lead the Tricks to the Hall of Enchantments. Things could have gone terribly wrong, but this is where Musa's signal powers prove their worth. Her magic being used only in that episode is understandable, like Musa Galatea's also for melody. So it's only natural that two music fairies would communicate using sound waves, but perhaps in the reboot, this ability could evolve into something more expansive. What if Musa could actively send sound waves to track or locate others, rather than just receiving them? That kind of power could be essential, especially if the show revisits the Dark Bloom storyline. Before Bloom is fully consumed by dark magic, Musa could send signals to locate her and guide the other Winx girls to her location.
Bloom!
4. Flora's communication with nature. Unlike many other fairies who summon elemental forces or wield magical blasts, Flora's magic is rooted in life itself. She doesn't just control nature. She connects with it on a deep, empathetic level. Plants speak to her, forests guide her, and entire ecosystems whisper their secrets through the roots. This connection is what truly sets Flora apart. Throughout various seasons, and even in World of Winx, this ability is portrayed as her greatest strength. Whether she's using vines to shield her friends, interpreting the presence of life in magical caves, or gathering information from the forest, Flora serves as a living bridge between the natural and magical worlds. One of the most emotional scenes involving her powers appears in Season 3. When Walter traps Faragonda inside a magical tree, it's Flora who communicates with the tree, uncovers the antidote, and begins the rescue mission. This moment not only underscores her magical ability, but her emotional depth. Later in the season, Flora, Musa, and Aisha visit the magical forest, which has been stripped of life. Flora senses the devastation, and, using their Enchantix powers, the three fairies restore its vitality. These scenes show Flora not as a fighter, but as a healer, one whose power comes from empathy and restoration. However, this strength comes with a price. Flora suffers when nature suffers. It's a powerful metaphor for environmental awareness. In The Secret of the Lost Kingdom, she is visibly in pain when vines are cut by swords. Her well-being is directly tied to the health of the natural world around her, making her one of the most emotionally and thematically grounded characters in the series. Unlike the other powers discussed, I'm certain this ability will return in the reboot. It's essential to who Flora is. Whether it's helping the girls navigate strange terrains or restoring damaged ecosystems, this bond with nature will likely play a major role in the story. And that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, give the video a like, and comment which magical power you're most excited to see return in Winx Club Reboot. See you in the next one!